Hey everybody, here we go with another vid. It's the Gris here. If you're watching on YouTube or DIY molds, hi to everybody there. So I've been doing almost one a day here, just showing the progression. If you're looking now from even yesterday's video, the table's changed already. I've got some new models out on the table. You can see some are already off. There's been new ones on and off already. I'll show you that in a minute here, what I'm doing. But I had a question from Le Havre in Nova Scotia. Was asking a question yesterday in regards to, with these bird bath pieces with the base, what do we do with the tops? Now I just want to talk a little bit about that. So you can see I did all the external pieces first and then did the internal piece, right? Made a little notch on it so where it gets marked off, because you're going to always put like one piece on first and then the top, because you can't slide this back in once it's all assembled. Just some important things I guess to think about with these tops is, again, you got to remember we're working upside down. So when this gets poured, that will be the top and this is going to be the bottom, right? So this will be the main support, especially on bird bath bases. That's easy for me to say, apparently not. This is going to be your support on the ground. This is what's going to be on your V table or going to be on the ground that's holding up your whole piece. So I really go heavy, like I'll go maybe like 3 layers in here, but I'll go up to 5 or 6 on here and on the inside, because once this gets trimmed up, that's going to be upside down and on the ground. Now, that's only that many layers for something this big. Like when this is done and filled, I'm going to take a stab at, it's going to be about 65 pounds or so, maybe 70 pounds when it's all done there. So, you know, 30 kilo kind of a thing. So you're going to need a bit of a beefy top if that's going to be sitting on, or it's going to be sitting on a V table, and it's going to be on this side a lot. So I like to make it quite thick, quite beefy, even like the tops of the partition walls here for the seams. I make them all, I toughen them up quite a bit, right? So now the other important part is down here on that bottom flange. I'm going to give you an example here, is you have to keep in mind, like let's go over to the starfish here. So you have to keep in mind when this big bad boy, this is awkward here, when this big bad boy gets poured, this is going to be upside down, right? So obviously with this sort of a top on it, that's going to be towards the ground. I don't want that touching the ground, so you're not going to be using this part here touching the floor. These are exceptions, right? So what you're going to need is this bottom flange is going to have to be quite heavy duty, and along this side here. And why is that? Because you're going to be putting support legs in. Either you're going to put wood, or you're going to put rebar, or you're going to put PVC pipe. So you need a strong bottom flange, like lots of layers of fiberglass. Always make it really tough, so you can take that to support. So when it's upside down with a full load, with probably, this guy's going to have 100 pounds of concrete in him, you don't want your legs snapping or folding your fiberglass. So I always go really heavy on these flanges, on the big boys like that. You know, if you're looking at smaller models, you don't have to worry about it, but when you start getting into the big stuff, always think of what's going to be your contact point, or if there is a ground contact point, and what's my support system going to be when it's all finished. You always got to think ahead on these things. You can't just sort of fly at it and then go, oh damn it, I have to add this and that. It's best to have the whole thing in your mind before you even get going on it. Even when you're doing your rubber, take a good look, and then in your mind already see the glass going on and how you're going to support it, and how it's going to be. If it helps you out to sit down and even draw it out, that's cool too. So anyway, that's just all I wanted to say about these sort of things. So these are really important, these things on the bird bath. And the same with this one over here. It's all finished. I just haven't done the inside pour yet. So probably put some stuff on there today, some release on there today. Tomorrow morning I'll finish that off quick, because it's a short day today for me. But again, this one will be resting on its top. It doesn't need support legs. Most bird bath bases don't need that sort of thing. It's stuff like this, statuary, you know, people, birds, things like that. You don't want that top point, weak point touching the ground. So you'll have support legs keeping it up off the ground. So that's why you have to think about that bottom flange there. So what I've got on the go, there's just a couple little pots there. And I just had a little discussion with somebody this morning in a private message, and he's going to say, oh, he didn't do what I said to do. But these were already laid up there, mister. And so when the next time I do one, I'm going to try it up. I'm going to show you all something new with these. He had a really good idea. Of course he did. He's been a good member with really good advice. So I'll tell you when we get around to that. So I did a couple drop molds, a little bit different for how I used to do them. What I've done with these guys, I'll show you here. So this is a Bacchus mold. He's finished this morning. So everybody always wants to know, why is it called a drop mold? Because that's how it's going to come out. It's just one piece, plump, you flip it over. So I'll put some little tiny legs on this after, so it'll sit like that. You can fill it up. So what I did different this time, as I learned from Mr. Tuscany, this little trick is if there's any deep undercuts left from your rubber that you didn't get filled, just go around with some plaster and just fill those little gaps up. This is just the shrapnel left. You can see there's a little undercut here, a little one here. So, and then just backfill those, and then tin foil on top. You can see the tin foil inside there. Tin foil on top, and then away you go. Just lay your glass. So in an hour, bing, boom, bam, you're finished. I did the plaster yesterday ahead of time, same as this one. This is I don't know if you recall her. This is the laying down sleeping pixie, really popular model. Same thing. If I didn't do it that way, I'd have to make it like a 3 or 4 piece mold to get all the deep undercuts. So all of this is all filled with plaster under her legs. It just doesn't need that much support that you have to be that picky with the glass going under. I'll show you when this one comes out. I'll do another video tomorrow or the next day. So it's just, I did that right before the vid. It's just kicking off now. It's she's warm right now. So in a couple of minutes, I'm going to toss her out, flip her out. I'm having trouble talking today. Going to flip her out, and away we go. And she's done, and get a couple more new ones on there. I like that. If you can pump out a few every single day, you know, you're making some good progress, but I still got a ways to go. So keep you all posted. So anyway, I hope that helps anybody. If you're a newbie and wondering about that top piece and the bottom flanges and what their purposes are and why you build them up so strong. So hang in there, and I'll have you hang in there too. And take it easy, and we'll talk to everybody real soon.